Hey everybody, this is Prince's Friend. We're back now with another review. I was actually gone last week. I had a really busy week. I was at PAX South, which was a lot of fun in San Antonio, and I was hawking my wares for my day job where I am a RPG publisher and having a lot of fun there. But that did delay this video, but now it's finally coming out. So, without further ado, let's get into the review of The Times' Ice Cream Castle. This album was released in July of 1984, around the same time that Purple Rain was released, and Apollonia 6's album was released, and also this one, and the movie, and everything, and it was all part of the hype. The interesting thing about this is that The Time was in the movie, was in Purple Rain, and yet none of the songs ended up on the album, and that's because they moved the tracks out in order to be put onto a separate album to sell more albums. Smart thinking, business people. So it does have actually just 6 tracks, so this is probably going to be a pretty quick review, and 3 of those 6 tracks were done just by Prince, and then the other 3, funnily, it's the 3 singles. Those were done in conjunction with both Morris Day and Jesse Johnson. So the person who commented on my other time videos and said, yeah, but Morris Day said that he and Jesse Johnson did stuff. Yes. So we're getting into that. This was where they kind of started influencing it a little bit more, and I think that that was for the better because the 3 tracks that were the singles were really good. And once again, I call it the bullshit filter, and it's when you have somebody who is only into their own mind and only doing what they want to do, the album's only going to come out one way. But the more people you have in the mix to help influence that person, they might still be at the helm, but there's other people influencing the direction of the music, the better that the music comes out. The album spent 57 weeks on the US Billboard album charts, and it reached its peak position at number 24 in March of 1985. But 57 weeks, that is such a long time for an album that only has 6 tracks. But guess what? One of those tracks is Jungle Love. The album gave the group their 2 biggest hits, which was Jungle Love and The Bird. Again, Prince using the time in order to push forward a new dance move in The Bird, and before it was The Walk. But the band actually broke up before the movie, before Purple Rain was even released. Morris Day wanted to do some more solo stuff after he and Prince had a fight, apparently, and I think it was probably about more creative control, because, damn it, it's a dick thing to do. The remaining members of the time stuck around and actually became the family. Whereas Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they actually did leave, and they went on to become the world-renowned songwriters and music producers that they are now. Morris Day's solo career didn't go quite as well, but I'll be reviewing probably one or 2 of his solo things later on, and then obviously when they came back together for a couple of the reunions that they've had. But that's going to take us a little bit to get to it. This is the last full-time album that we're going to cover for probably a while until we get around to probably the end of the 80s. So we'll see where we end up there. But let's go ahead and get into these tracks and start talking some time. Ice cream castles in the summertime. Ice cream castles in the summer. I want you. So unlike what I was actually expecting, the opening track is really not a hugely funky track. It's more of a subdued funk, which is actually, it's pretty darn good, though. It was one of the ones that was written by Prince and Morris Day together, so I wonder, it was probably Morris's idea to have a softer opening than normal. It did reach number 11 on the R&B charts, so it definitely scratched an itch for the public. For me personally, it was a little too laid back and just kind of laid flat. I'm not a big fan of those kind of songs that just, like, it's here and it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, it just stays there. I'm not really a big fan of those. It's not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination. There's some interesting keyboards, and there's some chanting at the end. You know, I don't think it saves the track overall, but I think it's a really good song still. I think the subject matter of the song is pretty cool because it's about an interracial couple throwing caution to the wind. I do like that. Weird in 2017 to think back that 1984, two people of different races dating or getting married or whatever, being together, was still a big deal. Like, that was a huge deal. So, you know, that is what it is. But Ice Cream Castle's good song. Man, this is one funky romp. It is so fun. It's all about this fine girl that Morris has, one that no one else can have, and them's his draws. There's not really more to the song. That's pretty much it. It's 4 minutes with half the song of Morris chanted, "Whose draws?" And the crowd responded, "Yo draws." It definitely fits the mood of the time, though, which was one of my complaints about many of the songs on their sophomore album. But by this time, I think they have that down to a science. This song sounds a lot like Cool from the previous album, but I don't think it's as good a track comparatively on the whole. But Cool's a good song. My Drawers, you know, it's a funny song. I just like saying, "Them's the my draws." I just like saying it. It's funny.
If my judge of character is correct, it's gonna be about Nella tonight. Now stop me when I get to 17. Excuse me, baby. I bet you didn't know I had a piece of this.
Alright, so the next track is Chili Sauce. So this song is pretty much the exchange that Morris had with Apollonia in Purple Rain, but redone with him talking to a waiter voiced by Prince. It's pretty funny because he says, "Hey, do you know how to do the walk?" And then the person responds, "Well, of course, everybody knows how to do the walk." And he says, "Well, why don't you walk over there and get my drinks?" So the beat to this makes me think of The Beautiful Ones, actually. It's got a pretty similar beat, but it's all spoken word. And again, it has a similar beat to The Beautiful Ones because in the movie, this was this talk that he was having with Apollonia right before Prince played The Beautiful Ones. He does repeat one of the best lines in the movie, which was "In my bedroom, I have a brass water bed." It's a fun callback to the movie, and it's hilarious when he says it. It's Morris Day in like pure Morris Day mode, and it really makes you laugh. I mean, I'm just laughing just thinking about it. And it started the whole "I like spicy foods" thing that we later see in Graffiti Bridge later on. So enjoyable to listen to. If you want to jam out, it's probably one you'll skip because it's all spoken word. It's not really that funky, but it's humorous to listen to. Alright, then we get to Jungle Love, everybody's favorite song from the time. Like, if you think about Morris Day in the time, this is the song that you think of. It was written by Prince, Morris Day, and Jesse Johnson, and it was featured in the Purple Rain movie, giving it a huge marketing push. The single made it to number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became their signature song, even being featured in Jay and Silent Bob's Strike Back movie.
The party's across the street featuring the greatest band in the world! Morris Day to time!
The bass line alone is enough to keep this song grooving strong. And this time when Morris says, "Hey Jesse, give me a solo" in the song, it's actually Jesse Johnson and not just Prince like it had been on the previous album. This song also cured my fever that can only be cured by more cowbell, because there's a cowbell in it. But it fits really well. And there's really just a lot of nice things to say about this song, not too many negatives. It's a really, really awesome song. It probably has to do with how nostalgic I am for anything Purple Rain, but yeah, really, really great song.
If the kid can't make you come, nobody can. The kid can't make you come. No, nobody can.
Oh, the time and ballads are a weird mix. But this one actually works. It also fits what the time is supposed to be, which always brightens my day. The last lyric of Chili Sauce was, "If the kid can't make you come, then nobody can," which I thought would have led right into this song, but breaking it up with Jungle Love was actually a good move, because I don't know if the album could have handled two ballady songs back to back. Morris basically tells the woman that he can do anything and everything to make a woman come. In detail, he describes it. It's interesting to me because the term "make you come" is in the title, which they were really weird about parent advisory things and stuff back then. I think people knew what they were. I bet people's brains were just melting all over the place. But just the fact that "make you come" and everybody knew that it was a sexual thing in the title, it's just crazy. And the final song is The Bird. So first we had The Walk, and then now we have The Bird. The time is great for coming up with new dances. Another track featured on the Purple Rain movie. This one was written by Prince, Morris Day, and Jesse Johnson again, and the track is performed live, which is new for the time. Putting a live track on the album, that's the new part. Just like Prince recorded his songs for the Purple Rain movie live and then just transferred them over, same thing with The Bird. This is pretty much the perfect song to end the album on too. I actually like albums that end on a live track, personally, because it gives you like a real feel like, that was a great finish. And since it's the last song they perform also in Purple Rain, it gives, a certain sense of nostalgia for just listening to it. I think that compared to the other albums of the time, this one sounds the most cohesive. I think that they really got what the time was supposed to be in this third album, but it was kind of bad that they figured it out right before they just went and broke up. The inclusion of Jungle Love and The Bird makes this a classic album, which I'm always happy to listen to. It's a really, really fun album, and I like it when the tracks come up in my shuffle. I do a lot of shuffle listening. So what did you think of the Time's Ice Cream Castles? How did it stack up to the previous Time albums? You let me know in the comments. Don't forget to share and like the video. We will keep coming back with more reviews, and may you live to see the dawn.